Hello again. In a previous video, I've shared the reasons why Airbnb is changing to host-only fee across the world as a for property management software connected host. And I will elaborate further is that I believe that ultimately, because it is about marketplace economics and marketplace perceptions, they actually will probably want to work towards rolling that out to every possible host. There has been some miscommunication that on December 1st it will actually be already be the case, but no, on December 1st, the 15.5% fee is applicable to all property management software connected host and the hosts that have opted into the host only fee. Those sentences are really big, really long. Now I want to talk about what's going to be changing for you on October 27th, 2025, as all Airbnb hosts that are connected to Hospitable and other property management software are going to be impacted. The first thing is good to say out loud. You actually are not expected to do nothing. You're expected to do something. The something is to increase your rates. You are now setting the price that's going to be paid by the customer, paid by your future guest. You are not expected to basically discount your property and do nothing. You are expected to mark up your rates to Airbnb by the matching 14.9% markup that needs to be applied to match your rates today. 14.9%, that's what math is telling me. 14.9%, so that basically $100 of payout today is worth $100 of payout on October 27th. And you can do so on Hospitable by going onto your settings, properties, and deciding on the markup for Airbnb. We want to help, and we definitely will not let anybody do nothing. We are starting to work already on this. We're going to probably send you some communication in coming hours or days about what our intention is. What we believe is that if you have a markup rate by the time Airbnb is migrating to the host-only fee structure for your property, for your account, then we'll apply ourselves a minimum fee of 14.9% so that you have the same dollar in payout on the eve of the change as the day after the change. Naturally, we need to account for the fact that some people will do the change and all sorts of things. There also may be people that for some unknown reasons will want to opt out from Hospitable, impacting their markup. And we'll definitely be respecting that and giving you plenty of time because we have 3 months to kill before the change actually occurs. Second thing that's going to change. Is this going to be affecting your search ranking? This is still an argument that's floating. It used to float. It used to be true. The reality is that the status of the host-only fee is very closely related with the search results. It was enforced what I would call the rest of the world, which is predominantly Europe, Australia, Brazil, other markets outside of North America. And the reason why Airbnb was able to enforce the host-only fee then was because Airbnb search results were already showing the fully baked price, the fully loaded price, taking into account the accommodation price, the service fees, including even the taxes that applied on top of it, as is the rule outside of the United States. And so there was no way to game the system already. Let's apply the host-only fee. North America was basically the last jurisdiction, the last region in the world where those fees were not quite right. Those fees were still gameable in that you would show the base price in the search results. That is over since April of 2025 this year, where Airbnb has rolled out globally the fully loaded price. So that means hosts and guests in the US are seeing on search results the price of the accommodation, the price of service fees, excluding taxes as is commonplace in the United States. So no, the host-only fee will not have an impact on the rates that are being displayed on your search results. Your guests and prospective guests will be able to make an apple-to-apple comparison between two properties, irrespective of their fee pricing structure. The second thing that's going to change might be on the margin about taxes, lodging taxes. Now, this is something where Hospitable has a bit of experience because we're now remitting in more states than before, and this is still accelerating. And one of the things, I mean, literally, I could go back to the first feature request on Direct, which was, let's please remove the guest fee side. Please let us roll it back into one accommodation fee, which is basically what Airbnb is doing. The first feature request on Airbnb on direct bookings for Hospitable was actually to destroy the service fees, make it part of the accommodation income. And what are the argument? Well, first, it's direct, so you say no fees. That's probably a good reason. And the second part is guests don't care about fees. Airbnb listened to this argument and actually pretty much agrees. Guests don't get to care about fees. They are interested in the properties. The fees is basically going to be a proportion of every other property anyway. Um, so that's interesting. But that actually provided an ancillary benefit for us based on the conversation of what actually is taxable for lodging taxes. Because it's always going to be fundamentally the base price, but there is always conversations at the margin about but the service fee that is derived from the base price, it should really be included as well. And the reality is that there is really no incentive in talking with authorities collecting lodging taxes to kind of argue about it. And so actually it's a lot easier for Hospitable as a merchant of record for direct premium to have conversation with tax authorities based on the fact that actually this is the base price and now we are taking a 7% fee out of taking into account your payment processing and identity verification and all the marketplace facilitation that we can do. But that means it's also above fold in terms of compliance. So it's already in place for direct premium for Hospitable. It may result at the margin in a slightly increased bill for the guest, but as is typical in the US, you don't show the fees, the taxes, lodging taxes in particular here on the pricing page unless much later in the flow. At the moment, it's time to check out, to pay. So that, I believe, is not going to have a meaningful guest impact. I believe that guests that have been looking into the right property, have been auditing, reviewing, etc., have developed a bit of an emotional relationship already and want to be able to buy their reservation. It's not going to be the lodging taxes that's going to be a meaningful factor. On average, to represent 12%. So a 14.9% increase of that lodging taxes as well is probably not going to be material overall. Exceptions will always apply. So that is it. You are expected to be marking up, and we'll be communicating to you very shortly about what our strategy is going to be to assist you in having a great markup rate to be meeting the new post pricing structure. You should not be impacted just by the change of pricing structure on your search results. And while lodging taxes may be slightly adjusted, it may not be material. It actually probably present for Airbnb, just like it is for Hospitable, a better stance to have a host-only fee structure because it short-circuits the conversations about what is actually taxable across the board.